Hey guys, King of Charms here to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and today I bring to you the most powerful team in the Halloween Cup. This was the former #1 team, and because there have been minimal adjustments to the Halloween Cup, as in like Slazzle or like a few other things, this team reigns supreme as #1. It features Shadow Nidoqueen, Sableye, and Azu, two incredibly powerful super tank meta picks. And when you put an XL, a giant bunny, whether it's the XL or not, or one of the most powerful meta picks in the world, and then you put literally one of the most broken things in this cup, Shadow Nidoqueen. Shadow Nidoqueen is incredibly broken. It allows you to find win conditions you normally wouldn't get because of the Shadow Poison Jab damage, the debuffing from Hell, and the ability for it to set up a lot of plays for you, and the fact that it runs through pretty much every dark type in existence in this cup, in the 2 shield. Shadow is incredibly dangerous. You can create a bunch of win conditions for you, and it's insane for the Halloween Cup. And it is featured in the #1 team. This #1 team is incredibly powerful, and it's insane. You're gonna see a lot of win conditions. I also feature a battle where I do make a mistake and I actually misplay and lose, but valuable advice for that, and for those of you that do seek to avoid getting sacked on. Well, yeah, it was really close, but you know what? I would like to showcase it because when you lose. The thing about Shadow Nidoqueen, it loses really hard to Ice archetypes, as in Froslass, as well as A9 with Powder Snow. So be very careful. Yeah, be very, very careful, because Powder Snow and, again, those Ice-type Pokemon are Nidoqueen's worst nightmare. But before we get started, my therapist's mental health tip for the day is going to be, it's actually a little bit of psychoeducation. So it's not from me, it's actually from Dr. Jordan Peterson. You may have heard from him, he's a very controversial figure, but he's also a clinical psychologist. The man has lived a lot of life and studied a lot, and one of the most influential and inspirational human beings on the planet. And he has this book called the 42 Rules of, I forgot, it's like the 42 Rules of Life or something like that. But in one of the rules, and I'm reading it right here, is rule number 5. If you have to choose, be the one who does things and the one who is seen to do things. If you fulfill your obligations every day, you don't need to worry about the future. That one's really powerful. If you fulfill your obligations every day, you don't need to worry about the future. So a lot of people say that I should have a lot more views than I do right now. Well, that's not actually important to me. What's more important to me is consistency. Consistency, again, if you fulfill your obligations every day, you don't need to worry about the future. I don't need to worry about anything, like how everything's taking off. I am pretty successful in my own right. Even though I've never really gotten lucky as far as the space of content creation. I've never had anything that astronomically made me explode. What I am is I'm very honest about what I portray, and I don't just vibe with the popular. This isn't high school, so I don't just vibe with the popular people. I'm very honest and very true to myself, but I don't hold myself to that standard of everyone else. It's horrible to compare yourself to other people, because you're not going to live them, and you're going to be yourself. It's very self-destructive to do so, because like what Dr. Peterson says in a lot of his lectures, you can't you can't measure yourself to other people, but what you can do is measure yourself. Be a better person than you were yesterday, and strive to be the best version of you every single day. So if you do that and you fulfill your obligations, you don't need to worry about that. I don't need to worry about my success on YouTube. I don't need to worry about my success on Twitch. The important thing is that I stay consistent and I do what I have to do every single day. If I fulfill my obligations as a therapist, if I fulfill my obligations as a content creator, good things will come. I don't need to worry about that. So I appreciate my support on all of you. Again, if you fulfill your obligations every day, you don't need to worry about the future. It's like for Go Battle League when you make Legend. If you're going to make Legend, you're gonna make Legend. There's no reason to stretch about it. If you are gonna make Legend, you are meant to make Legend. But yes, hopefully this advice rings true to you. Dr. Peterson is an incredible human being, definitely one of the clinicians I look up to as an upcoming therapist. And without further ado, this is the #1 team in the Halloween Cup for this interlude season. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. This is the #1 team. So a little kind of moveset thing here. The Azu for the #1 team is actually using Hydro Pump, but I use Play Rough. I just like it because if by some godforsaken chance that I see Umbreon or something else, because I don't see a lot of targets you hit with Hydro Pump nowadays. Don't get me, Hydro Pump is good, and if you do have a Wormadam, Hydro Pump is amazing. But at the same time, you have it. Yeah, that's basically why you use Hydro Pump. But for Azumarill, you still have Ice Beam. Other than seeing Wormadam, which is your worst nightmare, we're fine. So as you see here, we got Nido Nido is able to absolutely beast its way through freaking Poison Fangs into Froslass. So you lose this hard, but as you see here, what I usually do to play this matchup is that just bring as many shields as you can, Poison Fang your way to Oblivion, and then send in Sableye to farm down. Yes, you're going to lose alignment, but you're going to get a little bit of an energy lead, or they're going to switch into a... And wait, what is that? That's an XL Grimer. And when I saw this, I was like, that was a terrible switch. At the same time, though, Azu is so freaking thick, it can actually eat one shot. This is why Play Rough is great, because if you're able to hit, you get stabbed, and as you see, your Play Rough goes through, and we're able to hit it on this Grimer. Grimer is able to farm us down. So how the heck do I win this matchup? No, seriously, how the heck do I win this matchup? That Froslass is already dead. So here's the thing. I think in one of these matches I actually take an L, but you'll see that you'll see that. As you see here, all we should be able to do is just farm down the Froslass, and that's GG's. But Froslass is probably your worst nightmare in the lead. You won't lose it, you won't be able to take it, and yeah, actually this is a so I have to sack, or my opponent should sack. So as you see here, I fire a foul play, and all I have to do is be careful, as my opponent isn't going... Actually, no, this isn't the one. I win this one. All you have to do is Shadow Claw down, or get to the foul play, and then that should be GG's. Actually, do I? I do not. My opponent makes that really sexy swap, and that's GG's. It still would have been really rough, because, well, no, yeah, it still would have been really rough, but as you see here, they get farmed down, and that's GG's. Kudos to my opponent. I got caught on the sack, so I take a massive L. But you know what? All I really had to do was just Shadow Claw down in that scenario, and then one foul play would have killed. So GG's. And to make it up for it, here's round 2. I already know, and I'm like, I am not about to lose this matchup again, baby. Let's go. I am. But yes, be aware of sacks. If your opponent's gonna sack you, know it's their win condition. Just go over. Go over. Wait until they switch, and that's GG's. Up until the last minute, because all I literally had to do there was wait till the last minute, fire the foul play, and that's GG's. But this is gonna make it for it. So as you see here, my opponent's gonna fire this Avalanche, and they're up 2 shields, but this time I'm gonna win. I'm gonna keep alignment. I may be down both shields, but I'm able to keep alignment, and we take out this Froslass. So we get a Drapion, and I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. I'm gonna fire the Poison Fang for the bait. If my opponent's very precious shield here, because one Shadow Earth Power will KO my opponent. The Magnitude 6'9", 420 Earthquake is mighty. We will be able to KO our opponent. But because we're able to grab that shield, why not grab one? Let me grab another one here. We're gonna grab the second shield with the Poison Fang, or not grab the second shield, but we're gonna do heavy damage because that is a debuffed -1 and now -2 Shadow Drapion. Crunch goes through, it KOs our... And now we're down. Now this is really sweaty. This is terrible. As you see, they switch into a Ariados, and I have no shields. So when shields are down, Ariados goes to town, and Lunge is not resisted. So how the heck do we win this? Especially with the fact that this Drapion is still very dangerous because Azu takes a ton of damage. I can eat another Lunge in this instance, but my idea here is you're gonna see it's gonna happen. I have 2 conditions. I still have 1 condition. I'm still vibing. Lunge goes through. That's not going to quite KO. We should be able to get to another foul play. I'm going to foul play, and I'm going to bubble down. One Ice Beam should KO that Shadow Drapion in the back if I'm able to get to it. And as you see here, I'm going to do as much chip as I can here. The reason I'm doing this is because Azu's going to eat a move. Azu comes in. If they lunge me, that's great because Lunge is resisted by Fairy. So as you see, they launch here, and I'm able to get a lot of sweet energy, and they switch into Drapion immediately. Drapion's going to be able to get a move off. However, one Sludge Bomb, even from a Shadow Drapion, will not kill Azu. Sludge Bomb goes off. Azu is still healthy as hell for some odd reason. We're going to shoot the Ice Beam, and then all I have to do is bubble down, and that's GG's. Still a super sweaty matchup, as you see here, because Azu's so thick, we're able to Ice Beam down. We're going to fast move down, and that's GG's. I may have lost to 1 Froslass. I lost to 1 Queen, but I will not lose to the second one. It's like Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? I always make that reference all the time, but dang, the season finale really disappointed me. Oh my god. I hope y'all enjoyed that match. Again, for the first one, advice from the King of Charmanders. If you know their win condition is sack and you can balls to the wall, just wait till the last minute, and they know they sack. If they catch it, you win. Just do that. And as you see here, we're able to come out, and for the second match, come back with the W. We get Scrafty into our Shadow Nidoqueen, and this is great for us. Remember I told you how Nidoqueen kind of runs through pretty much every dark type in the meta. Guess what? It runs the holy hell out of Scrafty, and that's a Nidoking. And my brain is like, what? Is that a Nidoking? I'm gonna send in Sableye because Sableye resists these poison stings. But I'm like, why Nidoqueen? And the Mega Horn goes off, and I'm like, So we get Mega Horn, and I'm like, I'm struggling to find a reason. Like, I know dark types, like, you know, Umbreon are out there and everything like that, but, like, you know, Manabuzz takes neutral damage, and yeah. Shadow Nidoqueen is definitely the play here. They're gonna fire another Mega Horn. I will shield this, and I'm just gonna farm it down. I should be able to farm down comfortably here, and now I have a bazillion energy on my Sableye. We know we have that Scrafty coming in. I will fire the return. Even if our opponent shields, that's perfectly fine, because we still got a whole Nido, and we got Azu. What we can do here is we can grab the shield, and then all we have to do is literally send Azu, and it walls Scrafty. So we have a lot of control of this matchup. Foul Play goes through. It will KO our Sableye. We send in Azu, and our opponent's like, ah, crap. So we see Nidoqueen, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to get to an Ice Beam. I will fire off the Ice Beam. Unfortunately, this won't KO. It will literally be in the red. Ice Beam goes off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just sacrifice Azu to the gods. Nidoqueen should be able to take out this back row, and we'd be perfectly fine. Earth Power goes through. That's not going to KO. I'm like, why would you Earth Power? I send in Nidoqueen to get a little bit of extra energy here. Go straight for the Earth Power, and that's GG's. Even a Foul Play wouldn't kill at this range, and as you see here, Earth Power is definitely going to send this 426-9 Earthquake, comes in from the floor, explodes from underneath the Scrafty, and that's GG's, and we come out with a W. Fine, feels good to win a lead after 2 freaking Froslasses, right? We take out the Scrafty, we get the Earthquake through. Again, 426-9 is a magical number. Separate on its numbers are there, powerful on their own, and we get legend on legend action for the next match. We got Nidoqueen into Skuntank. This is kind of interesting, actually. So, this is, our opponent switches into Sableye, and my brain is like, okay, this is kind of bad. And then I swap in Azu. Why? And you're probably, I'm kicking myself because I'm like, this is a terrible. I shield the return, which is great. However, you never really want to swap it to a Sableye with an energy advantage like that. However, Azu is still really great against Sableye just because it's super bulky. I will fire the Ice Beam here, and oops, I grab a shield, and I regret my life choices. I should have Foul Played. But not all hope is completely lost, because all I'm going to do here is I'm not going to shield. I'm going to farm this thing down, and I'll have some energy left over to where I can fire a move at that, because I already know that Skuntank is going to come in my life. Take out the Sableye. The Skuntank is gonna come in, and then I fire Play Rough. Play Rough does a lot of damage because it has stab, and that's a Shadow Skuntank. Play Rough goes through. Our opponent elects to shield. That's not ideal for us. Now we got Skuntank locked into Nidoqueen, and we get a Dusclops, and this is GG's. I'm getting 100 energy here. I send in Sableye, and my opponent is going to top left faster than you can say go Battle Lag, because as you see here, Sableye has a fantastic matchup against Dusclops, and there's no way in heck our opponent is going to be able to take out our Sableye. Not only that, I think that was a return Dusclops, so we resist return, and we resist Hex, and that's just an overall terrible matchup for our opponent. This last battle is actually really nuts. It's like, oh my god, so, yeah, you just watch. So we got legend on legend action. We got Nidoqueen on a Dragalge. So, you lose this lead hard as heck. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build to Earth Power, and then I attempt to bait the unholy crap out of this Dragalge. I will shield everything here, though. Dragalge does have Aqua Tail. It does super effective damage against our Queen here. So, because of that, we ain't going to be able to say our Queen is in a lot of danger. And so, as you see here, what's going to happen is that we're just going to Poison Fang it to oblivion. So I'm going to keep Poison Fang. I managed to grab one shield and bait one shield, and here we're going to go over the second one. Our opponent is really scared to lose Dragalge for some odd reason. Maybe you get swept by Shadow Nidoqueen in the back if you don't have it. But we managed to grab both shields, and I'm going to fire this third Poison Fang. This thing's -2. Another one's going to hurt a lot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in Sableye, and I'm going to snipe down this Dragalge. Our opponent just launched a Dragalge with a bazillion energy, and we have shield advantage. They're probably really pissed off right now. They're like, are you serious? Yep, you just got triple debuff, dude. Triple debuff, you are very prone to getting sniped, and I just sniped you down like a monster. Return goes through. I'm going to fire return, and return's going to hit this Alolan Muck. It's going to do a ton of damage, because you got no shield, I have a shield. And we should be able to Shadow Claw. I'm not going to shield this. If our opponent fires, I'm hoping this is a Dark Pulse. Otherwise, if it's an Acid Spray, how dare you? But you know what's going to happen? All I'm going to do is Shadow Claw you down, because as you see here, our opponent isn't able to get to a second move, and they're going to top left faster than... Dang. That was a sweep out. I hope y'all enjoyed that shotcast, but this ladder basketball is nuts. I flexed the unholy hell out of my opponent, and that's GG's. Get destroyed, get sniped, and hopefully you enjoyed these. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As you see, this #1 team, God, it's really strong. And you can pull off a lot of fancy things. That last battle you saw, that snipe was dirty. -3 debuff, you send in the Sableye, you Shadow Claw down, and you lose a ton of freaking energy on your Dragalge, and you come out with shield advantage. That's one of the most dirty plays I've ever done. But as you see, this team is excessively powerful. It does require Sableye XL. Azumarill does have Hydro Pump, so well, it usually has Hydro Pump, but as you see, your Ice Beam is just as effective. The reason you have Hydro Pump is for Wormadam, but Play Rough, as you see, can also work as well. So you can choose Play Rough, you can choose Ice Beam, it's really up to you. So choose what you want to do, give it a shot, and then see how this team does for you. But this team is excessively powerful, and all these 3 mods have been out for a while. So if you played on the last Halloween Cup, you'll likely have all 3 of these built, and they can get you a lot of W's. This is the time for you to do as many sets as possible, because the reason being, it's triple Stardust. Even if you're already ranked 20, these triple Stardust are the times you want to play, because again, you get 3 times dust for your battles. So definitely heavily recommend you do your battles. And I also recommend you also like and subscribe and comment for the YouTube algorithm. You can easily subscribe by using the little box at the bottom right. See that box that subscribe, push your mouse over it, boom, you subscribed. Really appreciate my current subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Love my community. Again, do your battles, get your Stardust, and hopefully you can build your next squad up for Pokemon Go PvP. And without further ado, good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see y'all on the next video.
That I mean